Hey guys, hope you all have been well. Welcome back to my channel. Please excuse the way my foundation looks right now. I don't have any color products on because I'm going to be swatching all of my 4 foundations. I don't have that many, so if you were expecting for me to swatch 16 foundations, I'm sorry. Clickbait, I guess. But I wanted to show you what my foundations look like, my thoughts on them in case you're on the market for a foundation. They're not all loves, and so I'm going to be transparent with that. And yeah, I thought it would be a fun video to do, something I haven't done before. And so if you're interested in my thoughts on every foundation that I have, I hope you decide to stay tuned. Let's get straight into it. My hair is absolutely wild, so let me pull it back a little bit. I'm going to start off with the sheer coverage foundations. They're just going to be easier to take off. So I'm going to begin with the Fenty Beauty Blurring Skin Tint Eavesdrop number 10. This comes with 1.08 fluid ounces. And for this application, I'm going to be using the Morphe E7 brush. It is slightly dirty, but I did try my best to get rid of some of the product. And I do have some moisturizer on already. And because it's a skin tint, I'm going to get just the slightest bit of coverage. And I prefer to use this on more everyday basis. The more coverage you have, obviously, the more apparent it's going to be when you're out in public and people look at you. It's a very different thing when you're just putting on makeup for camera. It just looks so much better. But if you're like on the go and truly do want barely there makeup, these skin tints or sheer coverage foundations are the way to go. I still see my freckles. I mean, they're pretty much all along the bottom of my eyes, on my nose, and I just have the slightest bit of coverage, and you can see it just kind of evens out the discoloration on my face. I do have darkness over here, a bit on the side of my nose, underneath my eyes, and it covers it up ever so slightly. On a normal application, I would apply concealer, but I just want to show you foundation. I don't want to alter the look of the foundation, and this foundation doesn't feel like anything on the skin. And you're gonna find in a lot of my foundations, I think with the exception of one, that the foundation looks light on my skin, but if I turn to the side, it's because I'm trying to match it to my neck. I kind of even out the skin tone with bronzer, but I try my best to maintain the same color on my neck and my face because I don't tend to drag down my foundation. And just like that, my skin looks much more awake, much more even, and it gives like the softest, I don't even want to say sheen. It's just a very nice, almost demi-matte finish. But because it doesn't claim to be a long wearing or a mattifying foundation, there's going to be transfer. So I've had some time for it to set, and yes, there is transfer on there. But I do set it with powder 9 times out of 10, so I'm going to show you what that looks like. Taking my Refer powder brush in the number 30 and my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in medium dark. I'm just going to slightly set that and show you what that finish looks like. So I would recommend this for people who either don't really care if some of their imperfections show through, or if you have really good skin and are looking for something to uplift your face. I think this is the perfect foundation, and it's not going to be as expensive as the second one that I'm going to be showing you. So Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop Blurring Skin Tint in the number 10. Okay, so for the next foundation, I'm going to be using my Refer number 31 brush. This one too is a little dirty, but I did try my best to knock off the excess product. And for the second foundation, again, a sheer coverage foundation, we have the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. This comes with 1.18 fluid ounces, so a slightly bit more than the Fenty Beauty one. This is in the shade shade Light Medium 13, and this is the same shade that I have in their concealer. This claims to be a satin finish foundation, and it's supposed to be weightless and buildable coverage. So let's see if those claims are true on camera. I really like this foundation. It is super expensive, but I suggest that you wait for her 30% off. And it does have a pump, which is nice, and it's fairly easy to control. This, I would say, is a lot more runny than the Eavesdrop foundation is. It feels almost balmy. I feel like balmy is the best description for the Fenty Beauty one, but it doesn't give a balmy finish. It just feels balmy on the skin, whereas this one is truly liquidy. I was trying to use the other brush. So here we have the brush, and I'm going to pat this on. So here is the application. I can say with certainty this is weightless. It feels the same as the Fenty Beauty one. You definitely get more coverage with this side, but obviously so. This is a foundation, this is a skin tint. It's the perfect sheer medium foundation, and I think that that's kind of what I'm trying to achieve with my foundation collection, is just having different options for different looks. So maybe this is just a little too simple for me. I can always go up and use this one here without looking like I have a ton of makeup on and feeling like I have a ton of makeup on. It's so weightless. I don't feel it at all. And there will be a foundation in here that I definitely do. I personally feel there's a little bit more glow on this side than the skin tint, but I'm gonna let it dry down a bit, and we're going to do the napkin test and see what that transfer is. So it's got some dry down. Let's see. So here we have the foundation. There is transfer. I hope you're able to see that. But I would say it's a little bit less than the skin tint. It's got a little bit more staying power. And I do notice that in everyday wear, I trust this far more to last on my skin than the Fenty Beauty one. So let me show you what this looks like powdered. So here's what the face looks like powdered. It still looks matte, but not drying matte. I just love the finish. Like, I just really love this foundation. Foundation number 3 and 4, fuller coverage foundations. And so let's get straight into it. Anastasia Beverly Hills, let me turn it this way, their luminous foundation. This got some hype when it first came out. I have it in the shade 270C. It comes with 1 fluid ounce, and the pump is not the best on this foundation. I feel like the first squirt is really good, and then you got to give it some time to pop back up unless you want to get a half pump. This is rather thick, as you can see. It's pretty much staying in place. And while I put this on, I'm going to give you my very honest thoughts on this foundation. It's not my favorite, and I wouldn't even recommend it to you guys. Oh, by the way, the brush that I'm using is my MAC 170. I love this foundation brush. I got this on sale. I think I got it for no more than 20 bucks. I believe it was $19.50. And I know that I really just wanted to try a fuller coverage foundation and a luminous foundation. I tend to rely on using a more satin to matte finish foundation, and then using something like the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow or Hollywood Flawless Filter, and using that as my luminizer, but keeping the components and ingredients from a mattifying foundation to keep my skin at bay. And this is just not it. It doesn't stay on my skin very well. I'm an oily skin gal. Now this is a pretty good medium coverage foundation, but I'm going to show you that I can build it up. I only use half of the pump so far for this much coverage, and it's similar to the Pat McGrath coverage with just half a pump. This is not the worst foundation I've ever tried. I just can't trust it. Obviously you would want something that's reliable if you were to use it out, and I can't wear this out. This is why you will oftentimes find that with my videos I'm always listing this foundation, because it is my video foundation. And so you can see the luminosity on my skin. It holds true to that claim. So you can expect that when we do the napkin test, there's going to be transfer. But the coverage, it definitely is buildable. So I was able to get it to a solid higher medium coverage with that second application. But on the first one, it is very similar to the Pat McGrath one. So here we have it. I've already let it sit for a little bit. Yeah, see that transfer? Ooh, but let's put on some powder and I can show you what it looks like after I've set it. I could get maybe 2 hours, 3 hours tops if I were to use this out and use powder. But the moment I take a napkin to my face or swipe my face by accident, it is game over. So this is what it looks like. It is still luminous even with the powder, which is why I say, well, it doesn't last on my skin. I cannot trust this thing. So here is the final look. Now the last foundation is the Sephora Best Skin Ever Longwear Foundation. This comes with 0.84 fluid ounces, so a little bit less than all the other three, but this stuff, it's not that expensive, but it's really good. So I'm going to be using the LP Beauty. I'm not really sure what this brush is called. It doesn't have a number or a name on it, but dome foundation brush. That's kind of a kabuki style. This one too is very thick, but this one has a very different feel to this one. I didn't mention it. I can feel this foundation. It is there. Here we go. And again, it is a pretty solid medium with just half a pump on my face. This is what I like. So I'm going to take a little bit more foundation just so we can see these buildable claims. And I'm just gonna build it on the spots that I normally would build foundation on. It's not a completely dried down matte formulation, but it's not reflecting in the light like a luminous foundation would, like this one did. So buildable, yes it is. Weightless, yes it is. I really love this foundation. So here we have the napkin. Let us test it. Not a lot of transfer. No. Now let's do some powder. I wish you all could feel the difference in my skin right now. But yes, if you haven't tried this foundation, we have similar skin types. It really will not hurt the bank. So here is the final look. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me in this video. I hope you found it informative. I wanted to be honest with it and really try to be as thorough with my thoughts on the foundation. If you're on the market for a new one, I will be listing every single foundation in the description box down below, along with a link in case you are interested in purchasing them. Just remember that most of them are magic links, so I do make a small commission every time you decide to make a purchase. I don't think this look is going to go up to Instagram because it's not completely done, but you can also check me out there. It is the first link in the description box down below, and that's where I post a photo of most of my makeup looks along with all the products in the caption. Till the next video, I hope you all are doing well, taking great care of yourselves. I will see you all next time. Bye guys.